So, welcome to my introduction. I will be talking about my journey as a fashion designer. And if you don't know who I am Hanifa. I am based in Canada. I'm 24 years old. I am originally from Uganda and I basically grown up in Canada all my life. I currently work in retail and I am an up and coming fashion designer. So I'm going to start off by doing my makeup. I'm going to do something a little natural, but do I trust myself to do that? Absolutely not. Why I fell in love with fashion. Growing up, I I'd love wearing dresses, especially in elementary school. I loved wearing pink. I loved wearing purple. I liked my hijab to match some of my outfits. I wish I had the pictures to prove it, but it was my thing. Like it just made me happy. And then as I moved into junior high, I started sketching a lot of stuff. It didn't matter what I was sketching. I just wanted to draw something and to bring my designs to life. It didn't matter what it was or how I was going to get it done. I just wanted to sketch a lot. And you would think, take fashion school during junior high. I couldn't at the time because I was taking other stuff and my schedule was already full. So by the time I reached, like, I would say either it was grade 8 or grade 9, my fashions teacher had a sewing machine and I wanted to learn. But in the curriculum, they were only teaching like hand sewing and like doing like small little handcrafts and stuff. I was like, I don't care. My projects are done. Teach me how to use that sewing machine. As soon as the teacher that I wanted to use the sewing machine, she taught me how to thread it. She taught me about small little things about fabrics. And then she introduced me to your typical Vogue pattern. And I made a skirt. It was really cute. I think it was like a A-line skirt, and I loved that skirt. I wore it so much, but now that I'm a little bit older, it doesn't fit. But I still have her. I've taken pretty good care of her, and it just makes me happy knowing that it was like my first project. So as time just kind of went by, like I didn't have time to apply for fashion. I thought it was just kind of unrealistic, but I was still practicing like my skills and stuff. It wasn't like amazing, but it was just like a random spur inspiration. I was just like, I just wanted to sketch something. So I would sketch during like my free time, during winter break, that sort of thing. And then, yeah, I'd just leave it alone and then I would focus on other things like trying to graduate high school. So as time just kind of went by, how I really got myself into fashion is when I got myself a sewing machine during the pandemic. And now I was watching videos of people watching stuff. However, I had a very big head. I wanted to make wedding gowns. I wanted to make ball gowns. I was like, oh, let's make some Oscar worthy red carpet looks. The result of that came with a lot of spending money on fabrics and wasting it, and have like a huge pile of it in the corner of my room, and I look at it from time to time, but I'm like, you know what, it's okay, it's a part of the process, right? Now I would make things, but I would never finish the projects, which was not a good thing. And I just kind of sat there. I was like, what am I doing with myself, right? And I was posting on TikTok at the time. I was just showing off what I was making and stuff. Some things were a success, some things weren't. And when they weren't a success, I just throw it to the side and I just forget about it, only just to go and buy more fabric. So I kind of sat there with myself and I was like, if I really want this to be a passion that can turn into like a job one day, I have to take myself seriously and I need to apply for school. So I applied for fashion school. I did a year, ended up getting my fashion diploma in the end. And let me tell you something, it was not easy. I went into that class and my ego was too big. I was like, I know everything. I know exactly what I'm doing. Da, 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 da. I entered my pattern making class and it humbled me so fast. Oh my goodness. Teacher was like, oh, you're going to need a 0.5 pencil. You're going to start drawing this. You're going to use this ruler. And then we had to measure each other in class just to get our measurements. And then when we went into sample making class, teacher was like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to sew a hem. I'm going to teach you how to sew in a zipper. And these were stuff that I knew, but I didn't like do really well with, right? And after I had completed like the first month of like classes and stuff, I was like, am I in the right place? Like this is a lot. I'm overwhelmed. But in my head, I was like, I've made it this far. I have to continue to push myself because this is what I want to do. So months kind of went by and my skills started to improve a lot more. I did struggle here and there, and but I just, in my head, I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I love. And I want to make something of myself. So I kept going. I had a lot of like rough nights. I stayed up late. Too many energy drinks, which you shouldn't be drinking. But I was drinking them anyways. And a lot of homework too. Oh my God. So much homework and so much research went into like my classes and stuff. And as we were nearing somewhat of the end, we had to do our graduation collection. And that was like, for me, that was like the best part. Now, my collection, my inspiration was my mother, is my mother. And it was just a lot of dresses and a lot of colors, a lot of like modest fashion that I was doing. And I was really happy with like the progress that I was making. Wow, I forgot to put my concealer. You know what? That's okay. Anyways, yeah. So I did a lot of sketching, a lot of trial and error, a lot of research. I was sad though. I felt like I had the time, but also at the same time I was so overwhelmed. I was like, I feel like I don't have enough time. And there were so many things I wanted to add into like the two looks that we were doing for school. But at the same time I was like, okay, like let's just work with what we have in front of us and just get it done. My first look was a pink dress. It's so pretty. I'm honestly, if I had to compare between that pink dress and the other pink dress, the first one is my favorite. I worked so hard on it. I ended up handing it in a little bit late, but my teacher was like, "You did a good job." I did all the hand beading for the flowers on the bottom. Like it starts at like the tummy and then it makes its way down. Like some of the flowers. I think there was like 6 of them on there, and I did it all myself. I I lost so much sleep for it, but and I was so close to gluing on the beads and then just handing it in. And my teacher was like, if you do that, I'm not gonna be happy. So he told me, listen, just finish it. I don't care how late you hand it in. Just sew it by hand, hand it in, and then I'll mark it. I ended up getting a really good mark from it. I'm so glad that I took his advice and spent my time with it, because had I not, I think I would have not been proud of it, but I was really proud of it. I made everything myself. I even made the hijab and I made a hijab cap for it. Period. After I had completed that look, I was so happy, and right then and there I was like, this is exactly what I want to be. This is who I am. I am a fashion designer. Period. Like this is who I am. This is what I'm gonna do. Let's talk about what I've accomplished so far. I completed my collection. I had almost about, I would say, 40 different sketches and looks. Only 2 of them made it out, alhamdulillah. And then I completed the dresses. I finished them. I'm like, I'm really happy is what I'm. Also recently just completed the jacket and posted it to TikTok. TikTok's going really well. Honestly, I'm taking a lot of notes. I'm doing my research. I'm seeing how other people are doing their formats and how they lay everything out. I'm still trying to find like a proper way to be a little bit like more organized when it comes to that aspect of it. But it's overall it's like going really well, and I my overall goal is to not just go viral. Like going viral is all fun and games, but it becomes quiet when you continue posting and then there's no sense of community, and that's what I want to build. I would love to build a community through this, and I want to be able to encourage other people to go after their dreams. I also started that series where I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I know I want to do modest fashion, but I'm unsure exactly specifically. Do I want to do streetwear? Do I want to do luxury? Do I want to do? I'm still trying to figure that out, and I thought, doing this series, it'll help figure that out. I'm at a point where it's just like, if I want to build that sort of portfolio and show people what I'm about, I'm gonna have to suck it up and start sewing and selling to people. And the only way you can actually get like a good review is if people put on your clothes. So I have to learn how to do that and learn how to sell my stuff. My biggest goal overall, like, is to have a fashion show. I always wanted to host my own fashion show and have people come in and look at this pretty stuff that I've made, have models put the clothes on and like put a strut down the runway. Like that's like my long-term goal. That's like my biggest goal of all time. As much as I enjoy being delusional, I need to really bring this to life, and I'd love to do that. I'd love to host a fashion show. I also have been getting DMs from people asking to host like a workshop on how to sew, and I would love to do something like that later on in the future as well. It'd be so fun to connect with people who want to learn how to sew, or just want to learn something new, or just have like this something they want to do as like a hobby. I'm literally going to fight my phone. It's not even okay. But if you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. If you haven't done that, go ahead and do it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.